In this lecture, we are going to study about genetic disorders. What is the meaning of genetic disorders? This genetic disorder, as the name suggests, word genetic is concerned with genes and chromosomes. So these genetic disorders, it is broadly classified into two categories. First one is Mendelian disorder and second one is called as chromosomal disorder. What is the difference between Mendelian and chromosomal disorders? We can see here, these Mendelian disorders are caused due to alteration and mutation in the gene. So, what is the meaning of this gene? Genes are segments of DNA which are present in chromosomes. So, if there is any alteration is there in the genes, or if there is sudden change takes place in the gene, then it results in Mendelian disorders. Examples of Mendelian disorders we have studied are color blindness, hemophilia. We also have studied about sickle cell anemia and phenylketonuria. Under this genetic disorder, here we have to study about thalassemia. Then what are these chromosomal disorders? These chromosomal disorders are caused due to absence or excess of one or more chromosome, or it may be because of their abnormal arrangement. That is the difference between Mendelian and chromosomal disorders. So these Mendelian disorders are related to gene, change in gene or mutation in the gene. And chromosomal disorders are related with what? Either due to absence or due to excess of one or more chromosome, or it may be due to their abnormal arrangement. Under these chromosomal disorders, we have to study about Down syndrome, Turner syndrome and Klinefelter's syndrome. We will see about the first one, that is Mendelian disorders. One of the example, thalassemia, and this phenylketonuria we have studied before in the previous lecture. We will see this phenylketonuria in short, and then we will see thalassemia. So for this phenylketonuria, as we have seen before, what is this phenylketonuria? It is an inborn metabolic disorder and it is due to autosomal recessive gene. As it is because of recessive gene, it must present in homozygous condition. So when homozygous condition of recessive gene is there, this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is not produced. What is the role of this phenyl hydroxylase enzyme? It converts this phenylalanine into the amino acid tyrosine. But due to absence of this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, this phenylalanine cannot be converted into the tyrosine, and because of that, this phenylalanine accumulates in blood and CSF, which causes which affect the development of brain and mental retardation. Why it is called as phenylketonuria? It is because of its presence in urine. We can see this in short, this phenylketonuria diagrammatically or schematically. See, phenylalanine is formed from the dietary protein as well as from tissue protein. This phenylalanine is formed. Generally, this phenylalanine is get converted into the amino acid tyrosine. But due to absence of this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, this phenylalanine cannot be converted into the tyrosine. And instead of getting converted into tyrosine, it is get accumulated into the blood and into the CSF. So because of that, as it is get accumulated into the blood, later on it is excreted through urine, and that's why it is called as phenylketonuria. Okay, so we have studied one of the Mendelian disorder, phenylketonuria, in the previous lecture, and now we are going to study about thalassemia. Under this Mendelian disorder. So we were started with this genetic disorder. Two types, Mendelian and chromosomal. Under Mendelian, we have studied color blindness, hemophilia as sex-linked diseases because of recessive gene. Sickle cell anemia we have studied, that is it come under pleiotropism. Phenylketonuria, it is a autosomal recessive trait, and now we are going to see about thalassemia. So one of the Mendelian disorder is thalassemia. What does it mean? It is a autosomal inherited disorder, once again related with autosomes. What do you mean by autosomes? Autosomes are the chromosomes which control body characters. So this autosomal inherited disorder, which is characterized by decreased synthesis of either alpha or beta globin chain of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, as you know, it is one of the respiratory pigment found in RBCs. What's the structure of this hemoglobin? This hemoglobin molecule is made up of 4 polypeptide chain. Which are these 4 polypeptide chain? 2 alpha and 2 beta chains are present in hemoglobin molecule. So if decreased synthesis of alpha chain is there, it will be alpha type of thalassemia. If decreased synthesis of beta globin chain will be there, it will be of beta thalassemia. So I think it's clear for you. This thalassemia, it is the autosomal inherited disorder and related with decreased synthesis of hemoglobin. Now see, this synthesis of alpha chains are controlled by 2 closely linked genes. Which are these genes? HBA1 and HBA2. Where these linked genes are present, closely linked genes are present, they are found on chromosome number 16. And synthesis of beta chain is controlled by chain HBB. It is wrongly typed here. It is chain HBB located on chromosome number 11. So what are these chromosome number 16 and chromosome number 11? As we have seen in case of human beings, we have 23 pairs of chromosome which are numbered as 1, 2, 3 like that. On chromosome number 16, these genes are present for the synthesis of alpha chain, and on chromosome number 11, genes are situated for the synthesis of beta chain. Remember, this is the important point from MCQ's point of view. So now we know that hemoglobin consists of 2 alpha and 2 beta chains. So depending upon which chain of hemoglobin is affected, thalassemia is classified into alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. So remember that thalassemia is concerned with decreased synthesis of hemoglobin, either of alpha or beta chain. Now next to that, we are going to study about the chromosomal disorders. These chromosomal disorders, as we have studied before, it is due to change in structure of the chromosome or may be due to change in number of chromosomes. One of the example is there Down's syndrome. This Down syndrome is after the name of scientist John Langdon Down, who described this autosomal chromosomal disorder in 1866. So remember again, Down syndrome is an autosomal disorder. So this is caused by aneuploidy. This term we already have studied before. That is addition or deletion of one or more chromosome in diploid number of chromosome. See, what is the diploid number of chromosome for human being? It is 46. So if there is either addition or deletion is there, the term is called as aneuploidy. What's the condition in case of Down syndrome? It is your 21st trisomy. It is 46 plus 1 or 2n plus 1. Addition is there, plus 1. One of the chromosome is added, and hence it is called as addition of chromosome, also called as trisomy, because chromosome number 21, instead of present in pair, it shows 3 copies. So as 3 copies are there, it is called as trisomy. So remember, this Down syndrome is because of presence of additional copy of the 21st chromosome. Okay, so Down syndrome, it is due to aneuploidy. Here it is due to addition of one chromosome in diploid number of chromosome. 46 for diploid number of chromosome plus 1. So this addition. It is due to an extra chromosome 21 from group G, that is 3 copies of 21 or the 21st chromosome is present. Why this 21st chromosome is present in triplicate? It is due to failure or separation of chromosome, which is also called as non-disjunction during meiosis. As we have studied that during meiosis, chromosomes are get separated, homologous chromosomes are get separated and they enter into 2 different gametes. But sometime non-disjunction takes place. These chromosomes are not get separated properly and hence one of the additional chromosome enter into one of the gamete. And if that gamete fuses with the normal other gamete, either male or female, then there will be one additional chromosome will be present. Remember, this non-disjunction is distinctly higher in mothers who are over 45-year-old. So if the mother is, we can say, aged, if this aged mothers conceived, then these chances of non-disjunction are more and more chances of development of this type of child having Down syndrome is more. Okay, so now we'll see. As I said, Down syndrome is because of trisomy of 21st chromosome. So here 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, all chromosomal pairs are shown. Here this chromosomes are present in pairs. These are the homologous chromosomes. But you are going to see 21st chromosome, it is present in triple copies. So this triplicate of 21 is called as trisomy of 21st chromosome, which results in the development of a child having Down syndrome. So this presentation of chromosomes, it is called as karyotype. Karyotype is for the diagram showing the genotype for a particular species. This is for the human being. So in case of human being, we have this 23 pairs of chromosome. In this 23 pairs of chromosome, one of the pair is for sex chromosome, XX or XY. XX is for females and XY is for male. So this Down syndrome is 21 trisomy, one of the example of aneuploidy, where addition of one of the chromosome takes place in its diploid number. We'll see the next slide. Here we are going to study about sex chromosomal abnormalities. What are these sex chromosomal abnormalities? As you know that we have 2 types of sex chromosomes, XX and XY type of chromosomes. But sometimes abnormality in the number of chromosomes takes place. It may be in the form of trisomy, that is XXY. That means instead of presence of either XX or XY, it is sometimes XXY. Maybe sometimes XYY. So this type of trisomy may be there, and sometimes it is monosomy, that is X0. That means instead of presence of XX or XY, your X0 type of genotype is seen. So if the condition is XXY, the phenotype is male, that is the developing child looks like male. And if monosomy is there, it shows female phenotype. There are 2 examples of this sex chromosomal abnormalities, that is Turner syndrome, where the chromosomal complement is 44 plus X0, that is monosomy, and this Klinefelter syndrome is there, 44 plus XXY, where one of the X chromosome is extra. So we will see the details of this Turner syndrome and Klinefelter syndrome. Here, these differences are seen over here. Turner syndrome 44 plus X0 and Klinefelter syndrome is for 44 plus XXY. How these conditions arises, X0 or XXY? See, it arises due to non-disjunction during gamete formation. It is also due to non-disjunction of X chromosome during meiosis. What is the meaning of this non-disjunction? We will see it diagrammatically so that it will be clear for you. See, here this is the diagram for non-disjunction so that your ideas will be clear. As we know that in case of female, sex chromosomes are of similar type, that is XX is there. In case of males, the sex chromosomes are X and Y. When gamete formation takes place, you know that gamete formation involves meiosis. So during meiosis, these two X chromosomes are get separated from each other in normal conditions. But if the non-disjunction takes place, then both of these two X chromosomes, they enter into only one of the egg. And in other egg, there is absence of this sex chromosome. This is the zero condition, that is sex chromosome is not present at all. So where non-disjunction takes place in case of females. If you are going to see about the male, where the sex chromosomes are X and Y condition. So when this male individual, this diploid cell, it undergoes gamete formation, these X and Y chromosomes are get separated and forms two sperms. One of the sperm consists of X chromosome and other of the sperm consists of Y chromosome. In presence of this type of gametes, in fertilization, what happens? We will see the results of fertilization. When this X containing sperm fuses with this egg consisting of two X chromosome, which is the abnormal condition formed due to non-disjunction of chromosomes. So when this X chromosome fuse with this egg consisting of two X chromosome, it results in the genotype XXX. And this type of genotype is for female having triple X. When this X, it fuses with the ovum where chromosome is not present, where sex chromosome is not present, condition is X0. As we have seen, it is for the Turner's syndrome, X0 type of condition is there. That means one of the sex chromosome is not present, only one sex chromosome X is seen here. If you are going to see second sperm, when it fuses with this egg with two X chromosome, condition is XXY. This is the Klinefelter syndrome. When this Y, it fuses with this egg with no sex chromosome, here it will develop into the 0Y type of condition, and these are not viable. Non-viable, that means they will not survive. So we have to study this Turner syndrome and this Klinefelter's syndrome. We have seen for Turner syndrome, the condition is 44 plus X0, and for Klinefelter syndrome, it is 44 plus XXY. What is the difference between these two? First difference we have seen, genotype 44 plus X0 and 44 plus XXY, and this condition is due to non-disjunction of chromosomes during meiosis or during gamete formation. In case of Turner syndrome, phenotype of patient is female. That means this child, it looks like a female. In case of Klinefelter syndrome, this child looks like feminized male. That means males. Phenotype is male, but they are similar to females. That is called as feminized males. What are the symptoms seen in case of Turner's syndrome? This Turner syndrome arises due to, it shows short stature, webbing of neck, it shows web-like structure, low posterior hairline is there is no development of secondary sexual characters, and intelligence is also low. What is the condition in case of Klinefelter's syndrome? Your patient shows Overall masculine development, that means musculature is properly developed. Voice pitch is harsh voice is there. Testes are underdeveloped, means not properly developed. These individuals are tall with long arms, and there is a feminine development is seen. Feminine development, it includes development of breast. Condition is called as gynecomastia. And here spermatogenesis is not present. What's the meaning of spermatogenesis? Process of sperm formation is not seen, and hence these individuals are sterile, cannot take part in reproduction. About intelligence, they have normal intelligence. So these are the points which come under Turner syndrome and Klinefelter's syndrome. In case of Down syndrome, we have to see its symptoms also. See, it was explained before for the Down syndrome, which is one of the chromosomal disorder where one of the chromosome is added in diploid number. So it is a example of aneuploidy. There is extra chromosome 21 from group G is there, and it is also because of failure or separation of chromosome, which is also called as non-disjunction. What kind of symptoms are seen in case of Down syndrome? These symptoms are epicanthal skin fold, that is a fold of skin over the inner corner of eye. Here this is. On both the sides you can see this epicanthal skin fold. So it is a feature of a patient with Down syndrome. Face is typically flat, rounded flat nose, mouth open, and tongue is protruding. That means which comes out generally out of the mouth. Mental retardation is also seen. That means they are not properly developed mentally. And the flat hands with stubby fingers and palm. So flat hands with stubby fingers and palm is broad with single palmar crease, which is also called as simian crease. See, these are the two hands. This is the normal palm having these two lines over here. But in case of the patients with Down syndrome, they have this single palmar crease. So this is called as simian crease. So these are the characteristic features which are shown by the patients of Down syndrome. So what we have studied today? We were started with genetic disorder, which is classified into Mendelian and chromosomal disorder. For Mendelian disorders, here one of the example we have seen thalassemia. And in the previous lectures, we have studied about color blindness and hemophilia, which are the sex-linked characters. We have studied about sickle cell anemia as an example of pleiotropism. And we also have seen about phenylketonuria, which is one of the autosomal recessive trait. Then about chromosomal disorders, we have studied about Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome. Of these three, Down syndrome is autosomal related. Turner's and Klinefelter's are related with sex chromosomes, abnormalities of sex chromosomes. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this complete lecture, and the topic is also completed. Only one part is left, that is the Morgan's experiment. For that I will be taking another lecture. One of the lecture is there, lecture number 2 from the topic inheritance. In the previous lecture, we have studied about monohybrid cross. What does I want to make one of the correction. The correction which I want to make is under dihybrid cross. In case of dihybrid cross, we have studied about the definition, that is the cross between two parent plants differing in two pairs of characters. This one. This is the dihybrid cross. Here these are the two plants differing in two pairs of characters. Here two types of gametes are formed, and when these gametes unite together, results in formation of F1 generation. What is this F1 generation? It is the hybrid. Individuals of F1 generations are always hybrid, and here for example it is hybrid character is round and yellow, but genotype is capital R small r and capital Y small y. When the individuals of F1 generations are crossed together, we'll get this 16 type of combinations. We have studied it before in detail. So in this 16 type of combination, here these 9 plants are round yellow. These 3 plants are wrinkled yellow. Remaining 3 plants are round and green, and only 1 plant is wrinkled green. What is the phenotypic ratio for this? It is 9:3:3:1. While explaining this in the lecture number 2, that is inheritance second lecture, I was told you that the phenotypic ratio is correctly, that is 9:3:3:1. But while explaining this genotypic ratio, it is somewhat wrongly told. So what is wrong over there? I will tell you the correct first. It is 1:2, 2:4, 1:2, again 1:2:1. How to remember? 12:24, 12:12:1. So that is the genotypic ratio. That was wrong while explaining that. So once again I told you, genotypic ratio is not mentioned in your book, and hence it is not important for this examination point of view. But you just know that genotypic ratio will be 1:2:2:4, 1:1:2, 1:2:1. Okay. So with this we come to the end of this complete topic, inheritance and variation. For any doubt you can ask me anytime.